Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, they are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. Remember to use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So before we start, remember your key to the week this week is the Temperance card. This card has been very active for this week. It was very active over the course of doing the monthlies for September. And this week in particular, Temperance card came up more than any other. So I find that quite interesting in and of itself. And this week, the Temperance card and the Lovers card seems to be the ones that are really doing their thing, right? And the Chariot as well, actually, I have to say, which suggests to me that there's a very Geminian slash Sagittarian energy in the air. And obviously that's the eclipse cycle that we've come out of now. So very, very interesting to see that this is happening. Now, when it comes to your key to the week, the Temperance card is really asking you to to foster some sort of patience. I said this for Cancer as well because they had the same card in the same position. And this week, your patience, your need to be patient about something is going to be evident. Now, whereas I felt like this kind of related to other people or external situations, I actually feel that for Leos, the patience that you're going to need this week is going to be with yourself, right? You're going to need to be really patient with yourself, with, what you're working on, with what you're working towards, with how fast things can or can't or won't happen. So just keep an eye on that, because otherwise you could have a tendency to drive yourself a little bit mad. Your foundation card for the week ahead is the Sun. Look at this. All right. Okay. I'm happy. So coupled with the Temperance card, that's wonderful. This week, I think your health, your mental health this week, and I know for some of you Leos out there, it's been a little bit challenging on that level, right? That's not to say that you've had a psychotic break or anything, but just it's been a little bit challenging. Maybe the mood has been low, maybe there's been a dip somewhere, maybe you're dealing with an external situation that's taking a lot of delicacy and sensitivity, and so depleting your mental sort of energy or capacity. Well, this week you get it all back, right? This week you're going to be feeling that this week you're going to be feeling that kind of like zhuzh of energy, right? The Sun card lightens everything that it touches. And this suggests to me that you will come into an understanding this week of yourself that will actually make you very happy, or it will see you seeing yourself in a much lighter light. That tendency that and this is something that a lot of people don't know about Leos, right? Yes, they like adoration and all the rest of it, but Leo people are very hard on themselves. Like, trust me, as much as they have a lot of outer critics, the Leo person, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, doesn't have any bigger critic than themselves. And this week, I feel like something or someone is going to show you to reframe that, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not such a moron after all. That's me talking about myself, by the way, not any of you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For those of you that are planning to travel, wanting to travel, this is great. It does suggest that in some way, shape or form, travel is on the cards for you. This could be a friend inviting you to a trip. This could be you planning a trip. It could be you putting a deposit down on a trip. Travel and or foreign cultures in some way, shape or form are going to show up. For some of you, there are links to France, specifically the south of France, Italy and or parts of Spain. So in some way, shape or form, this is coming up for you, and that is very, very exciting. Your actions and options this week, you've got the Ace of Swords. So that mind fog and that sort of that's been floating around finally goes away this week. Yes, even though Mercury's gone into shadow, this week I think there's going to be a lot more clarity, there's going to be a lot more focus. I think this week as well, you will have the energy that you need to press on with some of your own goals or ideas. And this I actually think is very exciting. The other thing with the Ace of Swords, for some of you, it looks like you are either seeking to change work, change the job, or maybe to change your business model in some way, shape or form. Very exciting. For your communications and conversations, you have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so you've got the Ten of Swords right underneath the Temperance card. Now, there's two things that I need to talk about here. The first one, this week it looks like somebody that you know is going in for surgery. That's the first thing. The second, the Ten of Swords as a communication card means that the shit's about to hit the fan, right? If you know me, if you've been with me long enough, you know I don't shy away from the difficult stuff. I talk about everything: love, sex, death, the taboo. Why? Because that's life. I'm never going to sugarcoat it. I'll find ways to temper what I say because I love all the people that watch my videos, but I'm not going to not give you a message because it's challenging, right? This does suggest that somewhere there is a bust up about to happen this week, and it could be one that maybe you're drawn into that you didn't want to get into. Maybe one that you observe and get sucked into by association, you know, that whole kind of guilty by association sort of thing. Be on your guard for this. And I kind of feel like that Ace of Swords now makes a lot of sense. It's actually very defensive. Excuse me. Energy shift, right. It's actually very defensive. And the reason I say that is because swords can be used to attack. Yes, absolutely, but they can also be used to defend, right? And this week, I kind of feel like you're going to be fending off a challenge or an issue that comes in, right? And this is coming in through the communication. And most of the time, Leo's tried to be diplomatic about things, right? You have a third house, you've got a Libran third house, especially for the ascendant Leos, right? But there's an energy here this week where it's like, no, I've done my best to be diplomatic. I've been nice. I've been kind. I've tried to find alternative ways of talking about certain things. And now you're just taking the piss. And this is where the roar is going to come out, right? This is where the claws and the gut-wrenching roar is about to be heard. So whoever gets on the wrong side of you this week, I feel sorry for them. Now, that said, like I said, there does appear to be a surgery coming up here, and whoever this person is, I kind of get the feeling that this is it's in relation to something that could be quite serious, and I don't think that there's gonna be, and I really hope that I'm wrong on this front, but I'm not sure that the results of this are gonna be as good as I hoped for. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, this could be you going toe to toe with the boss, you know, where you give and you bite your tongue. This is my boss, this is my boss, this is my boss. And then you finally just say, do you know what? Fuck off. Been there, done that. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could see you, one, being drawn into something where somebody is maybe mentioning your name, or, you know, they're trying to speak on your behalf, and you kind of shut that down. No. And then for those of you that are retired or no longer working, it may be somebody in your closest circle that is having this surgery. I don't know why, but that's the feeling that I get from it. Also, these two can literally talk to, about, and for a chiropractor or an osteopath or an acupuncturist. So if any of you are planning to have any alternative kind of therapies or treatments, this would be a good week to do so. Very long video, I'm really sorry. For your love and relations, you've got that Eight of Pentacles. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in relationships, it looks like you're dealing with a lot when it comes to your work. And so therefore, maybe your partner feels a little bit neglected. They will probably vocalize that. All right, so just be aware that that might be coming up. For those of you that are single and looking, I mean, this underneath the Ace of Swords, if you are meeting someone, this is going to be somebody that you likely meet through your work, or is going to be very different from you. It could also be somebody that you see as a mentor or a teacher of some sort. It could just be a flirtation and not much more than that. It looks like you're so busy with other stuff that you may not necessarily have the capacity to spot it or to notice it. And then finally, remember what I was saying about having patience with yourself. This week there does appear to be a lot going on, and it's almost like you're getting frustrated with yourself for losing it over something. I don't think that's the case. It's part of the human expression. At times, you know, we wax and we wane, just like the moon. And so if something annoys you, at some point you're going to blow your lid, right? It kind of is what it is. For your money and materials, you've got the Judgment card right underneath the Ten of Swords. For those of you that are planning to get dental work done, please get it done sooner rather than later, on a really mundane level for the health and physical health and vitality. When it comes to your money specifically, this could be a challenge or an issue that comes up over money, inheritance, the division of assets, what goes where, who gets what. If you are having to go down this route, paperwork, all right? Paperwork. I cannot stress it enough. Make sure you have a paper trail for everything. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the Judgment card brings change. And that's always a good thing, right? Even when we don't think it is, usually it's good for us. Because you have that Ten of Swords there, whatever this bust up is that happens, it's final. There's no coming back from this. It's something that's come up again and again and again, over and over, to the point where now you're just kind of like, you almost expect it every so often. But this time, you've got that Ten of Swords involved. And so whatever this bust up is, that's going to be it. This is the moment where you tell the boss to go fuck themselves and you walk out. This is the moment where you take your wedding ring off, you slam it down on the table and say goodbye. This is the moment when a friend or a family member goads you on what it is that you do and how ridiculous it is and all the rest of it, and you finally lose it and you cuss them out. Because of what I know about Leo energy, there might be a moment after where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Patience with yourself, all right? Really, really important. That being said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have an interesting week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.